Hey y'all, welcome back. All right, so you all have requested for me to continue on with this energy. What seemed to be one reading turned into two. So I am grateful for this time to be able to go ahead and just focus on what it was that stood out to me when I got over to this King of Wands reverse and this Queen of Swords energy when what was the word? Yeah, I had the word because I had to refresh my memory with everything. Abolitionist. That was the specific word that came up, and the root word abolish. So the definition of abolitionist is someone who is in favor of something being like discontinued or stopped. So i.e. slavery. So somebody who is like pro, we need to end and abolish the act of slavery. So slavery was significant in the meaning of abolitionist, and therefore I just sat here a while and I'm like, slavery, that just seems like, if this King of Wands in the reverse was in an energy, not even that, but this Queen of Swords, that dictator energy, that control energy by way of possibly a feminine over this King of Swords reverse's life. This person possibly is the one who was in charge of, being the actual master of whatever it is that this King of Wands reverse fell victim to just by way of circumstance, by them being born to possibly this Queen of Swords, or just happened to fall under their rulership. So the abolishment of slavery in that aspect is this King of Wands is no longer, I keep hearing the word persecution, so I'm feeling like I can insert that word here now. This King of Wands reverse no longer wants to fall under the persecution of what is the direct result of this Queen of Swords energy. Now, that persecution I'm feeling now that this King of Wands has started to blame this Queen of Swords, and this could be by way of a mother figure, their actual birth mother, somebody's mother that they've connected with somehow by way of partnership. They're tired of being under the rulership of this Queen of Swords. That's just the long and short of it. So that could have been for all their lives, or just ever since they've come in contact with this particular individual. So I'm gonna work. Okay, so this is what we're here to do, y'all. This is like basically the extended of the previous reading. And I can't even think of the title of that. Oh, it was the Twin Towers, right? The good tower versus the bad tower. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is we'll keep these two out, these two court cards as our focal point, and I'm going to shuffle the deck again, but let's recap for those of you all who are just joining us. The Empress energy at the bottom of the deck just, was basically boiled down to collective, this being your energy. You've been granted the ability to be able to give life and birth to so many new and exciting things because the tower has fallen for your twin, which was this King of Wands reverse. Their tower, them climbing out from under the rubble of, they're discovering all these things, but it's like they're not still at the point of wanting to take accountability for the tower moment that just happened. It was good for you, but disastrous for them. So in that energy, when I was in there previously, and that abolition energy came up, I was like, okay, well, that's turning into a whole nother thing here. Because now we're talking about, at this point, like slavery and the abolishment of slavery in this King of Wands reverse life. But I'm like, I'm understanding now. It's like they were shown this as, as a child, or whenever this Queen of Swords union happened with this King of Wands reverse. I told you it could be their birth mother or by way of a partnership, but they definitely succumbed to the leadership, control, reign of this Queen of Swords. But I was being led to share that this King of Wands also turned it into, having their own little Oh, I heard concubine. Okay. I mean, that's where I was going with this because, you know, we're talking about, you know, using your control over others, you know, with the whole slavery energy. So if now we're talking about concubine and using women, I mean, which would make sense with the 9 of Pentacles energy, the pre-Empress energy, and you collective being attached to this, being the Empress, them, you know, scapegoating these 9 of Pentacles pre-Empress energies in their lives, making them slaves to what it was that they were also a slave to by way of this Queen of Swords. I don't know, y'all. Let's get down to it. Let's go ahead and jump on in. I'm going to reserve these 2 cards, and I'm not going to reorder the deck like I normally do, like the cards all upright and in order, because I still want to keep the same energy here in the deck. So I'm not even going to cut the deck. I'm just going to go ahead and just shuffle, and then I'll just let the cards fall as they may. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. So it just feels like somebody is do as I say, not as I do, but they're totally doing as somebody said not to do, which would have came from, you know, this Queen of Swords leadership energy in their lives. So they're basically just following in the footsteps of. That's some strong control, you guys. So even if you're, you know, familiar with this King of Wands reverse and this leader in their life, it's like this must be the one that's like the queen bee of the castle. Like nobody dares, you know, go against this queen bee energy. It could just even be like this Queen of Swords is like, she's like the tough guy of the family. You know, even though there are men around and uncles and whoever else by way of, you know, masculine energy, this queen really is the one who holds the fort down. No, like people are intimidated by this Queen of Swords. All right, y'all, here we go. Spirit, please clarify more on the abolitionist and abolition energy that we left off from previously. Please clarify that, and concerning also the Queen of Swords and this King of Wands reverse, please, and thank you. I'm being told that deck's upside down. All right, here we are. Okay, so it's family, y'all. 4 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. This is definitely family-oriented here, which, you know, my suspicion was just that this could be like a mother figure in this King of Wands reverse life that they are definitely afraid of. So the 3 of Wands means that there's some sort of expectation here as well. Like there's fire energy, y'all. Nothing but fire here. So I have to pay attention to that, and it looks like there's just been a lot of actionable things here. But then if we're talking about slavery, that's an act. That's like taking people hostage and not, you know, giving them what it is that they deserve by way of the efforts that they put in, because they're being able to help you gain something, but you're not acknowledging that by way of reciprocating energy. It's like taking advantage, right? So yeah, that's what these wands are representing here. So the 3 of Wands means that, you know, there's some sort of expectation here, I feel, coming from this union. But we need to dive a little deep and see, okay, who's expecting here? Is it the King of Wands reverse that's expecting something of this Queen of Swords, or is it vice versa? Or are they being played against one another by way of this expectation energy? We got to get into it, y'all. We got to see what's going on. It's a family affair here. These cards flew off in the distance, so I'm feeling like this is something that we just kind of have to, it's like there's some energy here that's missing. We gotta know what's happening right here. And my hand keeps bumping this deck, so I feel like I need to probably see what's below this 4 of Wands energy while I'm talking. And because there's something here that we need to know before we get here, is what I'm feeling. Let's see, y'all. First of all, let me just lean on these court cards here for a moment with this 3 of Wands and the 4 of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Let me see. So I'm hearing the word take notice. But I feel like that's a word for this King of Wands reverse, because all I could see is a Queen of Swords energy by way of this Queen Bee. She is she's pressing this King of Wands. There's some pressing energy here, like it's like she's on him. She is on this King of Wands reverse energy. Spirit, why is the energy so heightened around this Queen of Swords? Y'all, I had to get up just now. And I never get up. But I felt the need to stand up for this. What's the heightened energy with the Queen of Swords, Spirit? What's the heightened energy about? What's going on? Okay, so the Queen of Swords is feeling some pressure. That's why she's pressing on. I mean, that would make sense, right? Yeah, because it's like the funnel. It's like the trickle-down effect. So the Queen of Swords is getting some pressure from an outside force. And now that pressure is being directed or handed over to this King of Wands. Spirit, what is the pressure? What's going on here? Why is that? Okay, you guys, there's a pending court case here. This has to do with court judgment, like the real deal. And you know, in the original reading, remember I told y'all I was seeing files and documents and it was feeling very courtish, right? That's what's going on here. So that tells me that this Queen of Swords is being pressed by detectives, FBI, police officers. The Queen of Swords is under pressure for something that this King of Wands reverse is responsible for doing. What is the King of Wands under pressure for, Spirit? What's going on with this King of Wands reverse? Why is the Queen of Swords unraveling, is what I'm hearing. She is unraveling. So answer for a docket. That's what I heard. So something about a docket. So a docket would mean like a court appointment, right? So possibly they didn't show up for a court appointment, this King of Wands. I don't even want to go into why and what this is all about. I don't even care to do that, y'all. That's just one of those things, like, I'm not even trying to go that deep into it. I'm sure I can get answers, but for collective purposes, just know that I feel like this King of Wands did not show up for a court-appointed time. And maybe that's why this Three of Wands is here, this expectation, and why this Queen of Swords is being pressed right now, because the expectation of, they're waiting to hear back, or they're waiting to find out what's going on with this King of Wands. All right, y'all. Okay. There's that. Let's jump over here. I think we got the mystery answer to what was missing here. I just felt like just something belonged here. So I needed to go back, retract, and see what was going on. So now that we have the answers about the court documents, the missed appointment, you know, for court, whatever that is, and now people are looking and expectation of wondering, like, okay, so what now? Action-wise, what now? Let's see what this is, y'all. I'm getting all kind of stuff flooding in right now. I'm just trying to pinpoint where to place it. But let me dive over here, because definitely with this Four of Wands, I don't know if, you know, family is, I feel like family is just on standby. Like the close family members, they're like stuck. They can't move. They don't know what to say. Like everybody is speechless. Even the ones who always had a lot to say, they have nothing to say right now. They have no words for what's going on here with this situation. Yeah, it's like that. But you know what's crazy, y'all? For one side of it, it feels like there is family, even though they played the role of, you know, the what do they call it, when you do stuff, you're allowing it to happen, but it's not for the best of the situation. What is that? What is that called, Spirit? What is that? Not codependent. Enablers. There are a lot of enablers surrounding this King of Wands, and also this Queen of Swords, because nobody is trying to stand up to this Queen of Swords to let them know that, you know what, you've been wrong too. So right now, when I said nobody really has anything to say, is because, you know, either way it goes, you know, they're happy that something's being done about this for once and for all, because I'm feeling like this family has been tormented for a long time by this situation between these two. This codependent situation between these two. This family has suffered behind this. So the fact that the Four of Wands is in the upright, it's like, you know, we can prepare to celebrate, even though the occasion might not be a good one, but still it's something that, you know, we need to, you know, band together and just thank God that, you know, even though our loved one is getting this and that, you know, I was going to say locked up, even though they're getting locked up, at least they'll be safe. At least the family will be free, knowing that we know that they're behind bars, but they're okay. It's that kind of thing. It's like the sour and the sweet, right? That's what it is. This one I feel is like detectives, like on standby. They're waiting. They're waiting for an answer. And, you know, an answer needs to be given to this Three of Wands. Like, where were you? Why didn't you show up? Like, what's the deal? What's going on? You need to come and talk to us. It'll look better if you come talk to us now or as soon as you can, right? That's what's coming from this Three of Wands, y'all. Oh my goodness. Okay, now we can dive over here, y'all. Let's see what these cards are. I'm gonna go ahead and turn them over. Okay. I don't know why I put that voice on just now, but okay. So we have the Three of Swords, y'all. Three of Swords is just that heartbreak. This is that this is like that why? That's what this is. This is what I'm getting here. All of these swords, these Three of Swords, but this still feels like family oriented, y'all. This is heartbreak for the family unit. All around, this is not a good look, period, for the family. Like, everybody's suffering behind this or is about to suffer. But at the same time, there's some sort of gratitude that also needs to take place. Along with that, the bitter with the sweet. That's what's happening here. But this Three of Swords is just like, it's just not a good situation for family to have to go through right now. I feel like it's just the facing of the judgment of this family member. Because they knew it was coming, but it's like, now it's finally here. Like, it's really going down right now. Right now is this Three of Swords. And there's nothing they can do about it. They can't help this person get out of this. But they knew, like I said, that they knew it was coming. All of the situations and events that led up to this moment, they're aware of it. You know, they secretly cried about it or talked to other people about it and didn't want to face any judgment, or that kind of thing. Them being judged based on this particular family member and what, this person was sharing with people outside of the situation. But it was them reaching out to other people because they were hurting. They were silently hurting. This could be the brother, the aunt, the cousin, whoever it is that's closely nestled to these two family members who have witnessed this for a long time now. This is the Three of Swords. Behind this, we have the Knight of Wands reversed. So this is basically, I'm hearing our victim. This is our victim. But if we're talking about a victim of the circumstances of this Queen of Swords, that abolitionist energy, then that slavery type energy, this is what we're talking about here. When they were a young child, when they were a boy, like this knight of this king. I'm sorry, I'm going all through the cards. This, what even is this? This is a Knight of Wands, y'all. I couldn't even, like, my mouth had to slow down, let my brain catch up. But I feel like that's the history of this. It's like, it's almost even like confusing for a lot of people here. Like, how did this even happen? When did this happen? And how did they not know? And they wish they could have done something back then when this person was just getting started in the BS. That's this Knight of Wands reverse. The Three of Swords is just the other family members just kind of feeling like they're helpless as well. They feel helpless in a situation. That's why I said everybody is kind of going through this. They're like emotionally attached to this family member because they've endured this pain as well. And it's finally coming to a head that this person is going through judgment. But not only that, it's like their poor mother is getting it too. But can we really say poor mom? Can we really say that? I don't think so. I don't think so. Because she played a major role in this. And that's what hurts. That's what hurts everybody else. Because this didn't have to be. Well, let's walk through the life of this, because I felt like we were going back to adolescence here with this Knight of Wands reverse, because we're talking about the king. They made it to kingdom status, you know, being like the top tier of the BS. But this is where it started. Let's get an idea here. All right, y'all. Knight of Wands reverse. So, you know, this is the kind of out there just slinging it and slanging it anywhere and anyhow. Like, you know, not taking accountability for even their little private parts, you know, just kind of just sowing their wild oats and thinking that they didn't have to stay attached to anything by way of the horse. They can come and go as they please. Behind this, we have the Page of Pentacles. So this always seemed like a way out for them. Like, let me just show up and spend a little dough. You know, that'll make things better, but just a little bit. Let me try to entice them with what it is that they might value. Let me buy them something while I get something in return. Normally, it's them getting what they want first, and then they come through with a little something that did not even measure up to what, you know, what was given to them. All right, behind the Page of Pentacles, yeah, taking away a piece of an emotion from someone every single time. Every time they got back on this horse, they walked away with a piece of someone's heart here with this Page of Cups reverse, or an empty promise. You know, they came and gave a little bit of something. They could have done a lot more in exchange for what they received, but they came with the little bitty offering. And then at the same time, they walked away with, yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, definitely, sign me up. You got it. And was lying the whole time, knowing they weren't going to return with that same energy that they left with. Knowing that wasn't the case, because they had already left, meaning they were on their way, removed themselves emotionally from the situation or the bond that they just created with someone on false pretenses. They, you know, got back on their horse and rode out, but left that person, you know, hanging on to a fake promise. Y'all, I don't know why I'm sniffling like that. I don't know where that's coming from. There might be some sort of habit here, y'all. Not that I have the habit, but I just, you know, I'm equating sniffling like that with, you know, a runny nose, or just by habit, just I don't know, or somebody who constantly has to rub their nose, you know, because you think about indications of somebody who uses, right? That's what's kind of coming up here. So just place it wherever it goes if it applies. But that could be something behind this, because we're talking about how this person got to this point. So that could be relevant, y'all. Whew. All right, behind, y'all, this is heavy. It's getting heavy, y'all. I'm feeling it. All right, so behind the Page of Cups reverse, the Four of Pentacles. So this was about losing control over someone else's situation. So this would mean, okay, so I'm hearing abandonment. So when they thought they had a sure thing somewhere down the line, like a nice place to rest their head because they got in good with an individual, and it's like, sure, come spend the night with me, and then they stay a couple of days and it turns into weeks and months. Something happened with the situation to where they lost control, and losing control means they lost control of that person's finances or value. There was some kind of value they were getting from that person, but they lost it each and every time. They lost it. So that's where the abandonment issues came from. What's behind the Four of Pentacles reverse? And And here's our host, the Queen of Pentacles here, reverse. So they just came and took and took and took and left this queen with nothing, right? But look who's behind the Queen of Pentacles. I believe this is the King of Pentacles. So possibly there was some where, you know, the visitations went from days to weeks to months to, will you marry me? Let's do this together. Because this, whatever this final thing was for this King of Wands reverse was a sure thing, to where it turned them into the King of Pentacles. They were able to capture that energy of, not only am I a doer, look at me. Look at what I've amassed, you know, designer labels, whatever that is, car, business, clout. But it was all on the back of this Queen of Pentacles reverse. Look, the King of Pentacles reverse. I mean, duh. But, you know, together they lost. And look at this, Five of Pentacles. This is somebody wanting to be back inside. So I was thinking, I was referencing clout here. So they were definitely outcast from what really was a good thing for them. But in the reverse, you know, ultimately it means that they didn't deserve it. They didn't deserve to amass this wealth or whatever this was that they ran into with this Queen of Pentacles. They didn't deserve it. So now they're wanting, they're left with wanting to get back in with this Queen of Pentacles. That's kind of where things brought on that tower energy, and that was the original reading. This is part 2 of, was the dual towers. So this is the end or the beginning of the end right here. Their desire to get back in. But maybe there was a sense of them thinking that they were more than what they really were with this Two of Wands, that they could do all things without Christ. You know, that's not the saying. That's not the verse or whatever that, you know, I don't know if it's a verse or a saying. I can do all things, you know, through Christ who strengthens me. I guess that is a Bible verse. But they didn't need Christ. They didn't need a savior. They didn't need, you know, they didn't need anything of that. They thought they were that. That was the problem. This Two of Wands tells me that they didn't need, you know, I don't want to hear anything about your God, your scriptures. I am God is what this King of Wands would have said once upon a time. But that was the beginning of the end. It was blasphemous is the energy that was going on with this King of Wands reverse. You can't do that. I don't care who you believe in. There is a creator. There is a higher source of energy. You are not the energy, but they tried to make themselves believe that they were the energy. But I'm being directed back over to this Queen of Swords. Maybe that's where she went wrong here. That allowing this person to believe that they could do no wrong. Like I'm wanting to ask the Queen of Swords, well, what were your measures of discipline? How did you discipline this King of Wands reverse? Or did you? Did you just ignore it, go along with it, suck your teeth at it, roll your eyes in the back of your head? What did you actually do to discipline your child, if this is their adult child at this point? But when they were younger and this stuff started popping off, what did you do? Nothing? Did you laugh? You thought it was cute, funny? Oh, you're like your dad? I mean, what is that? What is that? What happened? All right, y'all. I hope this helped.